The other day you said that you had initially learned how to volley with kind of a punch kind of mindset, and you were kind of moving away from that a little bit. What?
Yep. So, you know, before I would volley, I'd stick it, you know, and then punch it, and then but then that left me here and unable to recover when it came back to me. So now I'm trying more of letting the ball come to my racket and not forcing it.
Okay.
And sometimes my swing gets a little bit too big, especially in my backhand, but just softening the movements.
Good. And that's a great description of what I'm seeing on the video. I can see that you used to be more abrupt.
Yeah.
But there's still a little bit of that remnants.
Yeah.
This is actually, I think, a pretty good example of going through to contact, absorbing a little bit, but then your racket kind of just gets left there. There's not much guidance through the point of contact.
Got it.
You're coming up to the point of contact, and there is some softness there, but your racket, the part of the kind of punch paradigm that's left over, I think, is that your racket is frequently just stopping at the point of contact.
Yeah.
And that's, like everybody says, oh, like short, like don't swing and all that kind of thing. But if it's kind of like your ground strokes. If there's an abruptness to it, then it's very difficult to have control over what's happening off the racket. And so, like, this is a great example of coming to contact, and then it's like you hit a wall, like right there.
Yeah.
The word I like to use to describe good volleys is a guide.
Got it.
It's not a hit, like we're not trying to add like acceleration or like racket head speed through it, but we are trying to give the ball like a very definite direction of movement.
Got it.
And so there's softness to it, but there's also direction. There's direction to it.
I see.
And so you can see my racket rebound as I make contact.
But then you finish.
But then I'm also pushing forwards with my hand. And so what I kind of want you to notice is that even as my racket slightly absorbs pace, it rebounds, watch my hand. My hand continues to move forwards.
Got it. Yeah.
And so the softness is good, but I'd love for you to also develop some direction to your motion to have a little bit more consistency and accuracy. Your backhand side's a little bit different. There's a lot of downward movement to a lot of your backhands.
Yeah. Okay.
This movement is not doing anything productive for you. Like our target's out over there. If the racket's going to move any place, it should be towards where we want the ball to go. So I'd love to see a little bit more focus in the direction that we're actually trying to hit the ball.
Okay.
All right, Jaden, we're going to go through a couple of progressions, kind of really similar to what we did with the short court work. Our goal here is going to be to develop your feel, your touch, which you already have a pretty good grasp on, no pun intended. But we're going to start to combine that with a certain direction of movement with the racket. And so, Ira, can you bring the basket up to the service line, please? Ira's going to feed to your forehand side. You're going to start off close up here. And as he feeds to you, one rep at a time, your target's going to be that basket. And what I'd like to see you do is turn to your right side, lay the racket back to the angle that you think is going to be appropriate to get the ball to the basket. And then just give the ball like a 4-inch, maybe 6-inch guide forwards. So these should be real relaxed. All you're doing is redirecting Ira's shot towards the basket. So let me do one or two. So my goal is going to be to set the racket up, facing the target, and finish it. Actually, stand behind me would probably be the best place to see this. See what I'm talking about? Before, when I was watching you, you had extra take back, and you also had extra finish or follow through on the other end. I'd love to see you simplify it and just keep everything facing the target. Better on the second one, better on the second one. Yes. And so for 1 second, I'd love to see you leave the racket after contact, just facing the target, and then go back to your ready position. Good. Just trying to simplify this as much as possible. Good. Excellent. Yeah. Awesome. 3's your record. All right, this is it. Get it, get it. Oh, 4. Tell her what she wins.
A brand new car.
All right, 5. Club record. Oh, 5. All right, now it's getting silly. 6. 7. Ira. So this is not accidental. Everything has become very simplified and precise so that we've taken out all the variables. Earlier today, I mentioned that there was one factor more than anything else that determines where the ball goes. Do you remember what that was?
You said what the direction of my racket?
Yes, at contact, wherever the strings are facing is where the ball will go. Yep. And so if before contact, the racket is facing there, and after contact, my racket is, just as an example, my racket's facing there, the ball could go in any direction in between those two extremes. And so for the time being, my goal is to get you to understand that when necessary, if you know how to just really simplify your technique, it'll increase your accuracy tremendously. So we're starting from here, and that was really excellent job keeping everything consistent. All right, now let's go to the backhand side. And so same principle. You're going to turn to your left side, set the racket up facing the target, and finish with the racket facing the target. And hold it for a second. Good simplicity, nice job. You've cleaned it up quite a bit without me having to say anything. So show me a couple without the ball, please. So imagine, you were saying waltz before. Imagine keeping good posture, what do they call that, frame in dancing. Just imagine keeping your frame nice and solid. One more. Good job. All right, with the ball, same thing. Good, Jane. Good composure. So here's your practice ones.
Yeah.
I can see you visualizing the
dancing,
and then here's
waltzing. Got it.
yeah.
Right.
And then here's the shot. Watch 1 or 2 more of this. And so your body is much more composed here than where you were a second ago.
Okay. Okay.
Get it?
Got it.
Couple more. Okay. Where's your racket facing right now?
Up.
Yeah. Our target is over here.
Yeah.
Your racket is facing here.
Okay, got it.
So we've introduced an element of timing. We need to time this forward motion just right so that at contact the strings happen to be facing where we want it to face, which
Otherwise there's too much variables.
Exactly.
Where am I going to hit the ball? Okay.
Sometimes we want to hinge back like this, and those times are when we want to add pace and we're trying to hit an offensive, like aggressive volley.
Okay.
And so then this makes sense. For a precision or placement or touch, kind of shot, this doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It's possible to make it that way, but you asked the question, why am I not hitting the basket as much? I think that's the biggest reason why, because you had that extra element of of complexity. You just simplified it quite a bit.
Okay,
So Ira's going to, each time that you aim for the basket and you don't hit it, Ira's just going to rally it back to you softly. And so he's going to hit you both forehands and backhands now, and your job is to execute these same simple movements and try to be as precise as possible.
Okay.
Got it? So now it's a cooperative rally. Really nice, Jaden. Good simplicity, good simplicity. Much better, much better. Your racket was just too closed. Shot. So what reasons could there be for the ball hitting the net?
My racket face wasn't open enough.
Yep. Other main reason why players hit the net is from hitting off center, from not hitting the middle of the racket. If you get the angle just right and you keep the technique simple and the ball hits a little off center, it will just fall. It won't have the momentum off the strings that it should have. So quality of contact and angle of the racket are the two big ones. Not hitting the ball hard enough is almost never, ever the reason. Almost never. Good simplicity. More than you need on the backhand side. Nice shot, nice shot. Oh my goodness. Part of the last rally that you had. I just want you to watch your racket's movement.
Yeah. Okay.
Everything, there's much more purpose like to all of your movements now. There's much more focus to like why you're moving the racket and where.
Okay.
And this is going to be kind of the framework of your volleys on both sides. Okay, Ira's going to take the basket and move it to the service line, and you're going to stay in the same spot. Now there's additional distance between you and the target. Keep in mind there's also additional distance between where the ball is coming from and you, meaning there's going to be more force coming towards you, and all you really need to do is hit the ball cleanly and direct it where you want it to go. So there should be a little more of a guide now out towards the target, but there's no need to like hit the ball or anything like that. So what we'd like to see is a little bit more forward movement. It's still pretty relaxed, like loose hand. Like this doesn't take much firmness. We'll do a target hit on each side and then we'll do rally. Feed first. And backhand. All right, one backhand target hit. All right, let's rally, let's rally. Good, Jaden. Looking for precision, control of the racket face. All right, Ira, can you please move the basket back to no man's land? Okay, so this is where things will start to change from what you're used to. Everything we've done so far, probably pretty familiar to you. Now we're gonna practice giving the ball a little bit more force because we've got additional distance again. And so what I'd like to see is your racket moving towards the target and your hand relaxed enough that the racket rebounds a little bit while guiding towards where we want the ball to go. So looking for maybe 12-inch, maybe 18-inch like guide out towards the basket now with a relaxed hand. Nice calm movement. Let's start off with feeds, please. Ira, to the forehand side. I like that, Jaden. I like that. A little bit too restrained there, a little bit too tight. Go ahead and guide out through it a little bit more. Yes, 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 yes. Let me show you real quick, make a visual connection for you. It's the first one, rebound.
Rebound.
And guide. It's good.
That was
and
a
then,
big U though.
Yeah, a little bit. This one you got tight.
Yeah.
And you hit that wall.
Yeah.
And you kind of guided out after the fact, but not until after.
Okay.
And then this one was a nice one again.
Okay, got it.
So yeah, I agree with you. You kind of have like downwards, like kind of hardwired into your body and your hand. There's more than what we need. It's not terrible, but I'd like to see it be a little bit more direct.
All right.
That's nice, that's nice. I like that a lot. Yeah, really good, Jaden, really good. Yep, yep, yep. Good, good. It's the right idea. Really nice, Jaden, really nice.
All right, we're gonna move you back since you play a lot of doubles. A transition volley is important, so just being comfortable from volleying from about 3 feet behind the service line. Okay. So Ian, we'll stay here for now, and then we'll move over and do a transition shot. But this, I just would like you to hit some volleys from here. Okay. Again, we're just one step back, so opening the racket face and giving it a little bit more guide forward. Okay. Right, and your goal again is past the service line, but playing around with those elements that create depth. Too much open and the ball will start getting shorter, so you have to kind of play around in this angle there. Good, nothing in front of the service line. Nice. I'm sorry, you shouldn't hit anything in front. There you go. Nice. You got it. There you go, way to control. Nice. And what we're gonna work on now is transitioning from the baseline to the net. So first, just a smooth half-speed approach shot, and then work your way in from there. Good. Going slowly. There you go. Good, move in a little bit. After each volley, move in just a little bit. Good. As the rallies become closer, it's important to lessen the movement of your racket, because as the rally gets faster and faster, the more you move your racket, the harder it is to recover for the next shot.